Hey everyone, I'll just start off and take any questions you may have.
Start with Steve over here. Start with Steve, then we'll go to John.
Just the raise that was just announced, just your reactions to getting that and where they feel about the program now.
Well, obviously, very thankful. We've had a supportive administration led by Dave Hart and Chancellor Cheek, and we all win with this. And I think it's an illustration of the support that they have given us ever since we came here. And it's gratifying in terms of they see what we're building, they see what goes on here. But it's really all about the players. It's about our coaching staff. It's about everyone in our football organization. So really, it's a tribute to them and everyone associated with our football program.
John.
Which, here several weeks out before the bowl game and just all the coaching stuff that's going on around the country, how important was it for you to get this done as early as possible, whether it's recruiting, whether it's to silence any questions or anything like that?
It helps. Again, it's more evidence of what we're building here, the stability that this program now has. And it helps in recruiting. Again, you can talk about it, but now they see it. So again, it kind of takes away some of the questions by your players as well. So I think it's just very, very healthy.
And then following up in that same vein, I think this is the first time we've talked to you since the Elder news became official. How do you approach that situation, and specifically with Nick Sheridan, what do you like about him?
Well, again, Nick has done a great job for us. He's kind of grown up in our football program here, but he's been a coordinator at South Florida. He was a pass game coordinator at Western Kentucky, and has done a good job for us. And the way I look at it is he has an interview every day, but we have to do what's best for the program. And I haven't even thought about what direction. I'm still kind of sorting those things through, and you have to do your due diligence, what's best for your program and moving forward. In terms of Mark Elder, very, very proud of him. He's an individual that we've been together for 9 years since the get-go. He's earned this opportunity. He's done a great job for us, and I'm going to mentor him. I'm going to guide him. I'm going to help him through this, but you know what? He's ready, and we spent a lot of time about his vision for his football program. And anytime you have an individual on your staff, particularly an individual like him that you've been together for so long, and you become a head football coach, it makes you very proud.
Paul, here.
But some of the other guys talked about their first kind of glimpse of Northwestern. They said it caught their eye that they were much more athletic than Iowa was last year. Is that kind of what you see as well on both sides of the ball from them?
Yeah, Paul, very, very good football team. Again, they're the 12th ranked team in the country. Defensively, what catches your eye right away is their front seven. They have a lot of individuals on this football team that we're very familiar with the recruitment process at Cincinnati. So we're very, very familiar with a lot of their personnel. But again, top 15 defense in every statistical category. They're physical. They're a typical Big Ten team. But they have very good athleticism and speed, 1,000-yard rusher. Quarterback does a good job of managing it, and they do a great job with their scheme. They play to their strengths of their players. They take advantage sometimes of over-pursuing. We have to be a great tackling football team, and so again, it's going to be a great challenge for us. There's a reason why they're 10-2.
Heather?
Butch, how important is it to have an offensive coordinator that's also your quarterback's coach?
Well, again, I've been on different staffs. Usually, most of the time, the coordinator either stems from the tight end position or from the quarterback position. You want a coordinator who can be involved both in the run and the pass, and every staff is different. I think it's just lends to the skill set of your coaches, how comfortable the coordinator is, where he's coaching. The great thing with Mike DeBoer is he's just about coached every position on offense, so that lends to some versatility for you.
Patrick?
But you kind of talked about some of the guys that made NFL decisions last week, but when you have guys like Jalen or Cam, how do you balance? I mean, obviously you want them back because they're good players, but how do you balance that and making the best decision for them?
Well, first of all, when we're having these conversations as a football program, it shows you're making great progress. And everything is about, what's best for our players. We're very fortunate to have 3 individuals that have worked in the personnel departments in the National Football League, and not just for 1 or 2 years, but a number of years, double-digit years. And so we have that resource for them. We'll provide every resource possible so that they can make the best decision for them in moving forward. And, when you look at it, if you have an opportunity to be a first-round draft choice, that's a tremendous opportunity. But after that, now it becomes to really educating them, what's the value? The value always is staying in school, getting your education, getting your master's degree. But, I love these individuals, and we'll provide every means necessary to help them. We'll support them in their decisions, whatever it may have. But I will tell you this, they're as grounded and as focused. You guys have talked more about this than they have. This has become more of a story for the media. These individuals are focused on the bowl game, and they're focused on getting better as players and being with their football team. So really, we'll help them when that time comes. We have those relationships, but really, we're focusing on Northwestern.
Wes.
Which I guess a couple questions. How happy were you to see Dylan Wiseman's name on that AP All-SEC team? I know he's a guy who's kind of been through a lot, been injured, and fought through and earned his spot and everything. And then secondly, it looked like Trevor Daniel hasn't gotten many accolades after the season. Is that disappointing for you after the kind of season he had?
First of all, with Dylan, very, very proud of Dylan. And I think he resembles, he's an illustration of what we have in this football team in terms of resiliency, resolve, toughness. He's battled through injuries all year. He's, competed for a starting position, and just proud of him and his diligence and just staying with it. So he deserves everything that he gets. In terms of Trevor Daniel, I think he's the best kept secret in all of college football. And I think part of it is just the unknowns. Here's an individual who, is a walk-on in your football program and comes and earns a starting position, and I feel is one of the best punters in all of college football. And I think the longer he punts, the more his story will get out there. But I tell you what, I don't know where we'd be without him. He's really helped change field position for us. He's done a great job, and these are all great stories that need to be told. Here's an individual who grew up with a passion and a love for the University of Tennessee, wasn't even in the 2 deep last year really, and just kept working and working and working, earned a scholarship, and has really turned in a remarkable season for us, and we're going to need him in the bowl game and moving forward, but just very proud of him and the progress that he's made.
Take 1 or 2 more. Dustin, and Mark in the back.
Coach, still doing this story on the sports science we talked about a while back. When you got here, first off, was this the first place that you kind of created a sports science team? And how important was it to involve academics in that group?
Everything starts with academics. Academics is at the forefront of our football program. And again, it's student athlete, and it goes hand in hand. So I'm proud of the progress that we've made in our academics. Again, I still say it, and I'll continue to say it, the greatest victory in Tennessee football history was the APR battle. And I still don't know if everybody really understands that would have killed our football program. Being the first program to suffer that penalty, and that would have set us back years. And we had a very low percentage chance of accomplishing that goal, and we were able to do that. And that's a tribute to the Thornton Center, led by Dr. Scoggin. It's the vision that Dave Hart had when we came here. It's the work of the coaching staff, and most importantly, the work of our players. And we were able to overcome that. Now that's a thing of the past. We've crossed that hurdle. We'll never have to worry about that again. And again, when you look at how far we've come academically, graduating our players, a lot of our players having graduate degrees, working on their master's degrees, that's symbolic of a full football program. And academics are at the forefront of that, along with sports science. No, sports science, we started right at Central Michigan, and one of the first things I did was take coffee and bagels to the custodial shop on campus and have them build me a wooden table like this, and we put it in our hallway, and myself and Plaz Presnell, our director of football operations, would go to the week-old bakery and buy week-old bread and peanut butter and all those things that you could give the kids, fruits and vegetables, and put it out there. And so that started at an early stage, but one of the first things we did at Cincinnati is we took the existing players lounge, built a new one, and built a fueling station. But when you come to Tennessee, the resources that we have here, led by Allison, Jason McVeigh, everyone associated with our sports science, and we've continued to grow. There really wasn't that in place when we came here. When you tie in the academics, the training room, strength and conditioning, everything that goes along with that. And part of it too is all these individuals working together individually and collectively to have one voice, one philosophy. That's very hard to do, and that's very symbolic of the type of individuals we have here at Tennessee. And it's all about our players. It's making them the best players and student athletes that they can possibly be, and we've been able to do that with our sports science department, but also it's a commitment by Dave Hart and everyone else to allow us to be able to grow that facet of our football program, that entity of our football program, and that's still ongoing. Smokies, as we all know, is a big part of that as well.
Mark, you get back then West for the last one.
Butch, this is a week when you don't have, the kids don't have any classes. Does it change your approach on, how you coach and then what you're trying to accomplish with them this week?
It does in terms of the time frame, first of all. Having a noon game, we want their body clocks now to get used to playing at noon. To me, this is one of the greatest times of the year because you have no distractions, everyone's home for break, and it's just you and your football team preparing to play a bowl game, and it's the time that you spend with your teammates afterwards. Again, in a couple days we'll go to Gatlinburg. We'll have a great team dinner there. We'll take in the sights and the haunted house and Ripley's Believe It or Not and the aquarium and everything that Gatlinburg has to offer. And again, we appreciate their efforts. It's kind of become tradition now here at Tennessee to celebrate the holidays in Gatlinburg for a day. We'll do a team meeting one day. So again, it's coming together where your time is limited now as a football team in Team 119. So you want to soak it in and spend as much time as possible together. We have to do a great job as coaches that, we also don't burn our players out. That's why the practices are crisp, they're short, we get them off the field, and then they have time to grow and develop. Also for our younger players, this time now that they can develop in the weight room and do some different things too, that just gives them a jump start in their development and also spring football.
West for the last one.
So I guess Dustin sort of dropped
First of
all
all,
the injury report.
congratulations on your vote on the Heisman. My wife informed me you had a Heisman Trophy vote.
They'll let anyone do that these days.
That's very impressive. So.
I guess on the injuries, it looked like a couple guys were back out there today, and a couple guys maybe weren't out there. Anything you care to share about those guys?
Yeah, you beat Dustin to the punch again. It must be that vote for the Heisman. It's made you smarter. Elliott Berry had knee surgery, had his knee scoped, and he'll be out for the bowl game, but he was out prior to that. But that came along very well. We held Josh Smith out just for some muscular stuff in his back. He should be at practice tomorrow. But Wes, you're right, having Rashawn Golden out there and him being back and doing drills is great to see, and really proud of his recovery. Vincent Perry is out there running routes. You can see the progress that he's made. Jason Kroom is out there running routes. So we are getting some of these individuals back, which is great to see, and they've worked hard. And again, this time for the bowl prep will be invaluable for them because they're getting the extra treatments, and also they're getting out there and doing football-specific movements as well. So it's been great to have them back.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, good to see everyone. How long have you had a vote?
5-6 years. Somehow. Pick the